I'm going to show you how to make French macarons. It's actually very easy. The most important thing is to measure your ingredients carefully, and you do that with a scale. So you want to weigh your ingredients. So to start off with, in this bowl, I have 270 grams of sifted powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar or icing sugar, and 180 grams of sifted almond meal. And I like to use the Bob's Red Mill. It's a really nice brand. I also have 100 grams of granulated sugar, also known as castor sugar, so 100 grams of that. And in this mixer, I have 150 grams of egg whites. And these egg whites are aged egg whites, which means that a couple days ago, I separated the egg whites, I left them in the refrigerator, and now on the day I make the macarons, I bring them to room temperature. Bring them to room temperature at least 2 hours before you start to make the cookies. It's important before you start making the cookies that you have everything measured out and ready to go. You want to be able to kind of go through the whole recipe without pausing. So in addition to having my ingredients ready, I also have 4 sheet pans here lined with good quality parchment paper. And I also have 2 pastry bags ready for the piping of the macarons. Whip your egg whites until they're stiff. And you want to do this on a medium speed. You don't want to rush this process. You want it should take a little bit of time. The egg whites are starting to get foamy, and so I'm going to begin adding my granulated sugar about a tablespoon at a time. Until they're stiff, it'll take a good 5 to 7 minutes. I'm using the paddle attachment, but you could also use the whisk attachment. I'm going to add a little more granulated sugar. You want to add it in about 4 parts. The mixer is on, I moved it up a little on 7, so it's on medium-high. And we're almost getting the stiff peaks. I'll show you, we're not quite there yet, but I'll show you what it looks like. So, see, it doesn't hold a peak. It just flops over. And you want those peaks to hold stiff, so it's not quite there. Now this last bit, once it gets to be almost there, it happens really quickly, so you need to keep an eye on it. Don't walk away. If your macarons don't turn out the first time, please don't give up. It just takes practice, because it's really worth it to get this cookie in your repertoire. They're delicious. They are known as the world's most difficult cookie, which is ironic because there's so few ingredients. Let's see. Stiff peaks, see? Holds. And so this is the time also that you want to add your coloring if you're going to make colored macarons. And I'm going to make strawberry, so I'm going to use pink. When you bake macarons, the color comes out duller than the batter, so if you want something really bright, make sure you put enough coloring in there. I'm liking that. That's a nice pink. So I have the egg whites, and they're whipped to stiff peaks, and the color's in there. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients, which is the confectioner's sugar and the almond meal, and I'm going to add it all at once. And at this point, I'm not going to worry about folding. I'm just going to get this all mixed into the batter. And once you're, this is the part that's good exercise. Okay. So you can see that the dry is all mixed into the egg whites. And now I'm going to start the folding process. And that's just taking it from the sides and flipping it over. And you do this until the batter loosens up. Because I'm going to show you right now, when I lift it up, look, it doesn't really fall off the spatula very well. And we want to keep folding until when I lift up the spatula, the batter falls off in ribbons. And that takes a couple minutes. You can tell it, see, it's loosening up. It's coming off a little better, see? Do you see that? See that? And it's loose. That's what you want. So now I'm going to put it into the pastry bags. It's a real pretty pink color for a strawberry macaron. You know, macarons are basically just always an almond cookie. The flavor's in the filling. So like if you want a strawberry macaron, you could do a strawberry cream cheese filling. If you want an apricot, you could do an apricot buttercream. If you want pistachio, you could add a little pistachio flavoring to the buttercream. You could do green tea. But then you color the macaron to make it look like, you know, it complements the filling. There is one exception to that, and that's chocolate macarons. That always has a little cocoa powder in the cookie. But the rest are basically just almond. So another tip to keep you from getting frustrated is to put a rubber band on the back of your piping bag. Because nothing is more frustrating than batter flying out the back of your piping bag while you're working. So now we're going to clip the pastry bag, and I don't want to clip the hole too large because then the batter comes out too fast and it's hard to control. So I'm just going to take off a little bit here off the end, just a little triangle there, and start piping. And I like to pipe smaller macarons about the size of a quarter. Sometimes they tend to get bigger as you go towards the end because you get impatient. Just take your time and just pipe. And they'll spread a little bit. I think the mini ones are so cute. If you kind of go in the shape of a circle, you end up with a circle. So I always kind of start out going around. These here I just piped out, and you can see they're not completely flat yet, completely smooth. But these here, they've sat for a little bit. You can see the tops have settled and they're looking really nice. So now what you have to do is let them sit for about a half an hour before baking. And that is so they develop kind of a nice smooth crust on top, and so when you touch them, they're not sticky. No batter comes off on your finger. And that helps create the foot of the macaron, or the pied, that nice kind of ribbon around the edge. I'm going to get my oven preheated to 325 degrees convection. So I'm going to make a really easy Swiss meringue buttercream filling, but I think I'm also going to use a little cream cheese instead of butter, because I think cream cheese and strawberries just goes really well together, and that's going to be my filling for my strawberry macaron. So in here I have 2 egg whites, I have a half a cup of granulated sugar, and I have a pinch of cream of tartar. And I'm heating this on a double boiler. I just have some water in this pan. And I'm heating it and stirring frequently until the mixture is very hot to the touch. The egg whites are hot enough, and they're thick and white. And I'm going to take them and put them on the mixer now. And you're going to whip them on high speed for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to reduce it to low and keep beating it until it cools. So they're nice and stiff. I'm going to put the mixer on low and just let it mix until the bowl cools down, because you don't want to put the butter into this if it's warm or hot. You'll melt the butter and you won't have a nice smooth buttercream. You'll have like a liquid. That's gross. The bowl is cool now, so I can begin adding my butter. And I'm going to add a little more than a quarter cup of butter, and it's softened butter. I'm going to turn the mixer up. And then I'm going to add some cream cheese. I think strawberries and cream cheese are delicious together. About a quarter cup of cream cheese. And you're just going to beat that until it's smooth and beautiful. And turn it up. My sister bought me this vanilla bean paste, and I think she paid quite a bit for it. It's like, I think $13, $13. But it lasts quite a while, and it is wonderful. It is so much easier than using a whole vanilla bean that you have to split, scrape, and it's just wonderful. So about this much equals a little under a teaspoon equals 1 vanilla bean. So I'm going to put that in, because I think strawberries and vanilla go really well together. I'm going to definitely scrape the spoon here to make sure I get all that in there. And we'll whip that. I also put in some strawberry preserves. This is organic reduced sugar preserves, because you don't want the filling to be too sweet. But I do want this taste, the flavor of strawberry. So I'm going to put maybe 2 heaping tablespoons of that. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I want my filling to look really red like strawberries, so I'm going to add a little, and get it out, little, there it goes, little gel paste. Whip it up. See, now doesn't that look more strawberry? These have have been sitting for a little more than half an hour, and when I touch the macaron, nothing sticks to my finger, no batter comes off on my finger. So that lets me know that they're ready to go into the oven. And you bake these at 325 degrees in the center rack for about 12 minutes, and then I'll check them. When you bake these, it's important to bake them long enough. When you touch the cookie, it shouldn't wobble, it should feel firm. And you also want to make sure that it looks matte on top. If it's undercooked, the cookie will get a little oily looking, and that's not attractive. You want a matte macaron. Also, then let them cool completely before you peel them off the parchment, because then you'll be frustrated if you try to peel them off before they're completely cool. Now, you have to pair them up with friends that are the same size. And I'm just going to flip over, every other one. I'm going to have my buttercream. I'm going to get it kind of in the center so that when you put the top on it, it's nice out to the edge. And there you have it, a strawberry macaron. So cute. So I'm gonna put these macarons in the fridge, and one thing that you probably should know is that macarons actually are supposedly taste better after they've been in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days. So you can make them, refrigerate them, and then before serving, bring them up to room temperature.